Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we are going to be making a little fox soap. Going to be um, setting up my chats really quick to make sure I can see you guys. And we will also, excuse me, we are also going to be going over this liquid soap that we made over the last few lives. We'll just be, I guess, concluding that. Just finishing setting up my chats here. Hi, Patty. Welcome. Okay. See if these chats are showing up. Just giving it a second here. Hi, Lorna. Welcome. Okay. All right. Looks like my chats are working. I'm going to go ahead and put on some gloves. The reason is because I want to show you this liquid soap, like I said, but also because I don't want to get anything, risk contaminating it at all. It does have a preservative, so it's, unlikely anything will get in it. There shouldn't be any fungal growth or anything, but I like to be extra careful. Hi, Ian. Welcome. Hi, Jill. Welcome. I'm making my video now, Ian. Coming on here just to pick on me. I see how it is. Okay, so first, let's just finish up with these liquid soaps. So this is the one that we used, the botanical scrubbies. We used walnut shell and we used the dried orange peel instead of pumice, just to see if this would, work just as well. As you can see, the pieces did not sink to the bottom. And this is a pretty thick paste. And like I said before, the orange scrubby type soap that I've used before was similar to this. It had a thicker consistency. It wasn't watery like liquid soap usually is. So I feel like the consistency is probably right. So we know that at least it won't sink, but I want to see if it's still gritty. And well, it is, but it's not nearly as gritty as I was expecting. So I guess you can't. The orange peel has gone soft, so we know we can't use the orange peel as a scrubby in this. The walnut shell seems to still be gritty like it was before. So for the few days anyway that it sat here, it looks like the walnut shell is okay, but the orange peel, the grated orange peel, is not. It went soft. So it looks like maybe at least for the short term, you can use walnut shell in this, but not the orange peel unless you were to use it right away, like you had the paste and the orange peel, you mix it together, use it to scrub your hands, wash it away, and then that was it. So we'll know better probably in a few days or a few weeks whether or not that walnut shell retains the scrubbiness. So that's it for this one, and I'll probably put this in a jar. I didn't find any jars yet for these because I wanted to let them sit in the bowls for just a few more days in case we decided to make any changes to them. And then I will be putting them in jars. I'll be getting jars for them and putting them in jars probably in the next few days. All right. Yes. Yeah. Interesting experiment. Yeah. Because I wanted it to work out. I wanted this to be something I could duplicate in case somebody liked it. So here is the one we made with the extra water. That looks like water pooling, but it's not. It's just bubbles. There's no actual like liquid separating, so that's good. And this also seems to have more or less kept everything in suspension. I'm going to move like the top layer off because that kind of started to get a little bit dry and see. And there is grit there. I can feel the grit. So this one, the fine grit does seem to have stayed suspended for the few days. And I can't tell if the heavier grit sank down or not. So I will have to put it in a jar to see. So I'll be putting these in jars soon, and then we'll let them sit for a few weeks and come back and check again. My guess is that it'll stay suspended just because this is so thick that I don't think I don't think it would sink down before. I mean, it would take a lot to get to get the grit to settle. But this is a really nice kind of pudding-like consistency, a little bit thinner. And I'll cover this up. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. All right, so we'll set this aside, and then this is the other one we made with less water, and you can see it's really like more like, I guess, like a custard. It's thicker. It's thicker than this one. Um, and I'm just checking down here. I'm not seeing like extra grit down there at the bottom. Of course, this isn't clear, so um, probably, like I said, the best way to test it would be in a clear jar. But I can still feel the grit in there at the top layer. So these were both, I would say, very successful. This paste is just a little bit thicker than the other one, so we know that it'll work either way. And then the way you use this is you just scoop up a little bit of it and scrub it between your hands, and you use it to scrub your hands really, really well, and then you rinse it off, and it rinses off. It's not meant to have a lot of sudsing. This is mostly to get like grease and grime off of your hands. So I'll go ahead and cover this up, and then what I'll do is get a bowl of water, and I meant to have that already set up. I just forgot to get it. So let me grab that real quick, and I'll wash my hands through the gloves. Uh, Hopefully that'll give you a good idea of how this should look. Just a moment. All right, I've got some water here, and it's just cloudy because it's hot water. It'll clear up in a minute. So what I'll do is let me test this one. And like I said, normally this test would be better on really dirty hands, so you could see how it scrubs and how the orange oil helps you get clean. But I didn't prepare my hands to be dirty for this, so yeah, it's really hot. Okay, so basically you can see there are some like tight dense bubbles in there. It's not, there's no like great big bubbly bubbles, and that's normal with this type of soap. But we are getting some sudsing, and I can feel the grit through the gloves. Like these gloves are going to be really smooth. And then just, of course, now the water has soap in it. So, but yeah, so now my gloves are even cleaner than when I started. Okay, so now you kind of see how it works and how it suds and everything. That was actually, to be honest, more suds than I was expecting to get, so that's pretty good. And now the table's gritty. Okay. I'm going to go dump this out, but yeah, that's how that works. And then the way that this stuff is normally sold is it's put into like, if you weren't here for the explanation last time, it's in, they sell them in like little plastic containers like this, like kind of like hair gel, or I don't know, just like I'm talking about, like a cylindrical jar that's like flat. That's usually how it's sold. I've seen it also sold in larger containers with like a pump, uh, for people who use a lot of it. But it's really good for like in the shop, or if you're gardening, anything that you would get a lot of dirt or a lot of oil, grease, and things like that on your hands. It scrubs it clean really, really good. So I'm going to dump this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside so that they don't get any of the other soap stuff in them. And then, like I said, I'll put these in jars, and hopefully the next time we check these, they will be in glass jars, and I can show you um, how they're being left to basically cure. And I'll put this in like a small jar. I'll find something to put this in, and we could just kind of watch it and see if anything grows, if that orange peel causes any problems. Normally with soap, you want to add botanicals in the beginning so that the lye kind of like cooks them. I don't know how else to describe it, but basically the lye does something to them so that they are less likely to rot later. And that's why you can put things like applesauce and stuff a little bit in cold processed bar soaps, but you can't really put it in something like melt and pour because it'll rot. Just going through the saponification process helps it to, stay safe. It prevents it from rotting. And so with these liquid soaps, everything was added after saponification. So that's why I'm kind of curious to see how that one does, that little one. Okay, so for today's soap that we're going to make, just trying to find a safe place to set that rag down. All right, so for today's soap, we're going to make some cute little foxes. And I decided to do a couple different greens. And my idea was like the foxes are orange, so I thought it'd be cute if they were sitting down like at the bottom, like the bottom of the forest, and then as it goes higher up, it gets lighter and lighter. So we have Alpine Green and Green Vibrance. So those will be the two greens. Those are both from Nurture Soap. And then the fragrance is called White Tea and Pear by Nurture Soap also. And this smells so good. Of course, I forgot to look it up again, but it has a very, very juicy like pear. And of course, it has the tea scent, but it's very bright smelling and very juicy smelling. And it smells really, really, really good. So I smelled that one and thought, yep, we're making that one. So I really like that. And then let me show you the little foxes. I used a little cutter and cut out little foxes. So some of these foxes will go on the top, and then these will be put in the soap so that when we slice the bars, each one will have a little fox inside. So those will be really cute. And since this soap is not supposed, this fragrance is not supposed to accelerate, but because my recipe has a lot of hard oils, sometimes it does anyway. We'll see. So I'm going to add the fragrance last, like after I mix the colors and everything the way I want it. Then I'll add the fragrance to each one, and then we will quickly pour it into the mold. And then I've got a little bit of this gold in the little spray bottle from Nurture Soap, the mica, to dust the top. I thought that would be cute, like sunlight on the top of the trees or something. So here's my melted oils, and I let these cool down to room temperature because this is, yeah, that's right about room temperature. I didn't want to risk this accelerating any more than it might. Yeah, thank you, Lorna. And thank you, Patty. I apologize. My chat sometimes is slow. It doesn't catch up to what you're saying right away. So if I miss what you're saying, I'm not ignoring you. I promise. Okay, here's the lye water, and I'll be using these two different containers. I decided to pour it in here and then add the colors, and we'll do it that way. So that way, hopefully, you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better because these like with the short spouts, when I go to pour, I think it blocks the camera too much. I think these give a little bit better view. So I'm going to put on the face mask. So I had to take my headset off for a second. And also, if you guys think of anything you'd like to see me make, any designs, cute little animals or something, let me know because I want to be able to make your suggestions. So we are back just a minute. Okay, there we go. All right, so, and also if I've forgotten anybody's suggestions, like I try to write them all down, but if there are any that I missed, let me know too, because sometimes I miss things. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. So this is my lye water, and I put sea salt in here. And I will tap out the air bubbles. And I only want to get this just combined because we're going to do more mixing with the colors and with the fragrance and everything. So I'm not looking for this to be perfect. In fact, that's probably as far as I need to go for that. Okay, so I'm going to do roughly half. Okay. I'll use this spatula. Hope everybody's been having a good weekend and good week. All right. There we go. So now, let's see here. Mushrooms and owls and the color pink. Okay. I think I have mushrooms. I'll see if I have owls. And I know I have pink. Should be able to make something work. I'll check and see if I have owls. Okay, I'm going to do the light green first. This is Green Vibrance from Nurture Soap. And I'm just going to get a general idea of how this is going to look. You probably could use a little more. When I mix this in, it'll become a little more bold. So I know I don't need to add a whole lot. All right. Okay, and then this is the dark green. And this one is called Alpine Green from Nurture Soap. This one has a little bit more blue in it too, I think. So I try to peel it open. Okay. This is why I used to put them in like little containers every time, because otherwise I'd be fumbling with the little containers. I should probably go back to that. Okay, so I'll just use the whisk here to blend this in. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's plenty of the Alpine, but you can see that there are two different shades of green. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but I want this to be a little bit, a little more yellow in this one, I think. Let me see if I've got some yellow I can add. I could probably add yellow vibrance. I want to knock that down a little bit because it's not as bright as I was going for. Sometimes it's hard to tell until you've mixed it in. Let's see. And I could also, well, I was thinking I could do a third color, but I don't really want to do that. What did I do with my yellow? I bought a new one. Aha, here it is. Okay, yeah. Yellow vibrance. Okay. So this should brighten up that green a little bit. Yellow, when it goes through gel, it gets a little bit more pale. So it loses a little bit of its vibrance, haha. But if you don't put it through gel, or if you use it in melt and pour, this is the yellow vibrance, then it won't lose the vibrance as nearly as much, but it still looks really good. Okay, so I'm going to blend this real quick. Let me see what you guys are saying. The 60s girl really likes the hippie colors. Yeah. I used to make a patchouli scented soap that was rainbow colors, like a tie-dye design. It was fun. I'm trying not to over mix this because I don't want it to thicken. It's already starting to get thick. So, but that's a lot lighter, which is more what I was going for. I wanted a lighter green, but I might even add, probably not smart because this is getting thick, but just a little bit more because I really want this to be a light yellow. I remember I had this problem one other time when I did this design, with the green and the light green. The green wasn't different enough. I suppose I could darken the other green, but the other green, unless I add black to it, I don't know. I guess I could add brown or something. There we go. Okay. That's better. Okay, I like that. Like that much better. Okay, this is more like an avocado shade, which is better. Okay. And then this is still that really nice dark green. I'm going to blend this because I can see down at the bottom where some of it is not. Yeah, see how much more fluid this is? Anyways, down at the bottom there's some that isn't fully getting mixed, so. Okay, that's better. All right, so let me get this ready. So here's the mold. And there's a scratch down there at the bottom of the mold. There's not anything anybody can do about it. And I also have to add in the fragrance. I'm hoping that will help this loosen up a little bit. This one, I mean. We'll see. So, pour in some of that fragrance there. Okay, there we are. Alrighty, there's that. I'll pour some in here. Yep, that's good. Okay, we'll mix this by hand. Alright. Alrighty, so let's put this in this way. I'm going to pour in, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there. Pouring in a layer of this dark green. Then we're going to take the foxes. Scoop them around. Alright. And we're going to place them in there. Carefully. Hopefully. Boop. There we go. Alright. I'm going to make them stand up. I'm going to put a little bit of this color behind them so that the soap batter can help basically help them stand up. Okay. Forgot to grab my chopstick for that, but that's okay. All right, perfect. Now we'll add a little bit of this lighter green. And we're going to just, from this point on, just layer light and dark, and probably finish off with mostly the light green. Okay. There's some of the light green. Do some more of this dark green. And it should have like a pretty mottled green look when it's done. All right. Okay. So at this point, I can't check the chat. I'll check it as soon as I can. I'm going to tap this down because I don't want that to trap air. Okay. Then a little bit more of the dark green. Just a little bit. And then finish off probably with this dark green. All right. So this light green's going on there. Oops. Okay. Okay. Let's tap. I think this is the one that has, it's like a nail or something on the bottom of this that's scratching the table. All right. Just gonna clean this up. Oh yeah, and I can take this mask off. One second. Okay, so there we go. And let me get a swirl, something to swirl with. Alrighty, so let's look at this. I want to put the foxes in probably here. But first I'm going to see, now the darker green is starting to thicken up, which is just fine. A little bit of that. And oops, a little bit of this as well. Okay. And then we're just gonna kind of swirl this together. See if we can get a pretty design. Okay, that looks kind of cool. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is also scrape down the side so that there's not some like soap overhang on the top of the soap. All right, go this way. Okay. All right, this is where the foxes will go. It's on this side here. Whoops. Let's get this. Okay. And then I don't like the sharp edge right here, so I'm just going to kind of, just a little bit, knock it down, and over here as well. And then these two sides will get trimmed when the soap is cut. All right, so I'm going to pick out the little foxes. I usually make 4 just in case something happens to it. So this one looks fine, so I'll put this one first. Looks like right here it should, well, let's see. I should probably put it in this way. It's one of those where, is it taller or is it longer? It looks like it's longer, so I'll put it in this way. Just checking what you guys are saying. Thank you, Lorna. I'm glad you like the colors. Yeah, hippie clothes. They have some really nice clothes, that's for sure. The colors, a lot of times, are a lot of fun. Okay, this one has a little spot of white from the colorant I used, and I think I might leave that on there actually. Just straightening out his tail. Okay. The other two, let me just see here. Okay. There we go. The other two, this one looks like they got a dent. I have to sometimes use like a little tool to push them out of the cutter. And they got dented in the process. Looks like both of them did. But this one, I'm trying to see which one is. This one looks like the dent is more obvious. Okay, so, oops, there we go. All right, so he's in there. So now we got all 3. And I think those should be just about centered. So as far as when the wires come down, if they'll miss the fox. So yeah, oops, there you go. That's how that looks. Was I doing that whole thing all out of frame? I hope not. But yeah, see. Yeah, they look like they're gonna run across, exactly. Yeah, fox face. They're really, really cute. I really like this cutter I found. So it has a cute little design. His little foot is sticking out. Push that down in there. I'm gonna take a little measuring dealy bob and make sure that those are an inch, because I forgot to fully mark the mold before I started. Okay, let's check. Okay, let's see here. All right. So we just want to make sure that the 1 inch marks will go between them. It looks like they'll be fine. I think they'll be just barely fine. Yeah, for the fox race, right? Exactly. Yeah, I hope they're cute on the inside. You never know with these things until you cut them, of course, but But I like the cutter, and I like the little, I don't know, it's hard when you look for like cutters and stuff. A lot of things look really super like basic, like the same as everything else. So I try to find cutters that look a little bit different than the ones I've seen before, but also are cute. That they're appealing to look at. So these ones I thought were they're really cute, but also but different enough. Anyways, but yeah, these so far, I mean, this is already getting solid. Let me see if I can get the rest of this batter to fit in an oval mold. Just give me a sec here. Let me see here. Gonna spray it down with alcohol, and then wipe it out. They've already been cleaned, but sometimes if they've been sitting on the shelf, I like to double check. Okay. So let's move this guy out of the way. I'm putting it in here. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of the batter left, but I'll do my best to get it out. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's some more of the light green. Okay. Then we'll get the dark green. Yeah, there's quite a bit of this in here. There we go. That's pretty good. Put that in there. And get some off of the spout here. Yeah. So this is why sometimes just scraping out the bowl, you get quite a bit of whatever it is. Cake batter, soap batter, cookie dough, toothpaste. Okay. All right. Let's wipe this off as well. Got some soap over here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to tap this out. And then we'll take the +1 chopstick, I mean, and we'll just kind of go like that. And hopefully that light green will be swirled in there a little bit better. And look at all those air bubbles, like craters. Try it this way. Oh, we forgot to put the gold on, didn't we? Let me put a little bit of that on. I'll put it on here first real quick, just a little bit. And then we'll put our last little fox right there. Okay. So there's the little oval, and we'll check on him Thursday when we do the others. Let me get this one. And I'm just gonna go across here like this to try to pick up some of those textures with the gold at like an angle. And then we'll try it this direction. Oops. Got a little close. There we go. So hopefully that shows off the texture really nice. You can see where the chopstick was dragged through and left texture behind. So that's super cool. So now it's got a little bit of like light hitting it, and then hopefully what we'll see on the inside is the light down to the dark green, like as if the light were filtering through the trees or something. I think it'd be cool one day to come up with like a really technical soap design and actually do like sunlight filtering through the leaves and have it all be exact and perfect. But that would be something I'd have to sit down and engineer, I think. I don't think it would happen by accident. But yeah, so that's a cute little fox soaps. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will be coming back Thursday to cut this into bars. And then we will also be making either a soap suggestion or I'll see if I have that owl. If I do, we can do that. Otherwise, I will think of something, probably another woodland soap or a cat soap. I have kittens, kitten soap cutters, I mean. And maybe we can do like a kitten soap. And let's see what you guys are saying really quick here. Makes it look like a tree. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or like maybe like those like embroidered tapestries where they had like those weird, I don't know, really weird, but like a very like stereotypical like tree design in the tapestries. Kind of looks almost like some of the designs that are in there. I like how the gold picks up the texture and makes it look like something. Yes, Ian, kitties. Yes. I have to decide what color. I probably should do orange cats. I've done black cats. Um, I could do brown. Trying to think of what white cats maybe. I want to do all the different colors of cats. I think it'd be fun also to try like a tabby design, like maybe to lay out the soap dough in like lines, like put together. So it looks like stripes. But I'm afraid it will get muddy because as you cut out the cats, and it's like making, cookies or biscuits, like as you cut them out and then you mush the dough back together, you know. But yeah, gray. Yeah, gray cat. Yep, I could definitely do gray. Maybe do like little Russian blues, cute little cats. So that is a plan. And then also I'm planning on putting the soaps up in the shop here in the next couple of days, the ones that we made a while ago, like the little bunny soaps and stuff. I want to get those in there for you guys because I realized that I hadn't posted them yet and it was getting close to when they would be ready. So um my sealer, the little, how I seal them in the plastic now, the little sealer started sparking and basically was catching on fire from like the very first time of using it. I had already replaced the last one, did the same thing, and I had replaced it with this one, and this one started doing it again. So I went ahead and ordered another one, and it should be here. It was supposed to be here tomorrow, but now the post office is saying Friday. So if I get it tomorrow, then um, I'll be able to put the soaps up sooner. I just don't want to burn the house down trying to seal soaps in the shrink wrap. Yeah, exactly. Ian, fire. Yeah, they're, they're from Amazon, and so just beware. Um, they were a good price, but I mean, I ended up having to pay 3 times as much for one on Uline. But at least on Uline, I don't know. When I went to get my money back from Amazon, um, the impulse sealer that I had purchased was no longer like even listed. Like that company wasn't there anymore. I'm pretty sure it was a scam. They sold a whole bunch of them and then disappeared. So I can't get my money back for that. But I figured if I get one from Uline, if it catches on fire the first time I use it, they'll be willing to send me a new one. Yeah, yeah, it was a bad fire. At the bottom, I unplugged it. The first one that caught fire, I unplugged it and took it apart to see maybe like, oh, was there just like something in there that was burning? But no, like the circuit has like a little circuit board thing in there, and that was like melted and like warped and black, and it was all black inside, so it was not good. Yeah, that kind of fire is very bad. Yeah, exactly, Patty. Yeah, scammers waste all our time. I mean, if you're gonna sell something for cheap and whatever, that's fine. But if it catches on fire and then you can't even get your money back because you disappear, I mean that kind of sucks for the consumers. But oh well, that's the last time I ordered stuff like that off of Amazon. Because that was the second one I had ordered from them. And the second one I ordered was different. I even made sure it was like a different one, and it did the exact same thing. I think what's happening is that these are all, I mean, it says made in China on there. I'm pretty sure there's some factories in China just like making a million of these, and you know a large percentage of them go bad, and I just happen to get two bad ones. But there's enough that work correctly that they never really get shut down. So, you know, and how do you fight something when it's in China? You kind of can't. It's kind of far. So there's only and it's not an expensive enough item to really justify wasting my time on. So anyway, so just gonna move on, and who knows what happened. I mean, it could just have been bad luck too. It looked like the one I got had like 10% bad reviews, but it didn't have those bad reviews when I purchased it. Um, so it looks like it's only a small percentage of them that aren't working, and I just happened to get the two bad ones off the boat, I guess. But that's okay because I have a new one coming, and as soon as it does, I'll be able to shrink wrap the soaps and get them sent out. So that's the delay. So I apologize for that. But yeah, so um, don't forget, leave comments of any other soaps you want to see me make. I will try to find the owl cutter if I have one. And also, if you are new, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good evening.